He fell from the highest throne in the world with a blade buried between his shoulders, not a soldier's blade, not an enemy's, his closest friends. Kael had built everything, supreme commander, master of all 5 disciplines of force, 23 years of war and sacrifice, and it had ended in 1 second on a cold marble floor. He remembered Doran's voice saying, "It was always going to end this way, brother," calm, almost sorry. Then nothing. Then he opened his eyes and the ceiling was wrong, too low, too wooden, the smell of sawdust and smoke. His hands were small, unscarred, a boy's hands. He was 12 years old. He was back in the training barracks at Holofen. And he remembered everything. The Iron Veil Empire ran on the discipline of force. Every person was born with a resonance, a core that could be trained into one of 5 powers: strength, speed, endurance, perception, or will. Most people unlocked one. No one in history had ever mastered all 5. No one except Kael, and it had cost him everything. Now he had 19 years before the night Doran killed him. He intended to use every one of them differently. In his first life, Kael had been brilliant at war and blind to people. He had trusted Doran completely and never once questioned it. That was the mistake. Not the battle, not the politics, the trust. He didn't make the same mistake twice. He rose through the training corps carefully, not too fast, not suspiciously slow. He made 2 decisions that changed everything. First, he saved a boy named Sev from a sparring accident that had killed him in the first life. Sev was rare, a dual resonance in speed and perception. He would become the finest scout in the Empire's Eastern Division. Kael needed his eyes. Second, he found Lyra, a tactics instructor no one listened to because she wasn't a fighter. She was the sharpest mind in the Empire and everyone had missed it. Kael didn't miss it. When he was 17, Lyra told him something that stopped him cold. She said, "Doran of the Northern House is the most dangerous man in the Empire. No one watches him because everyone likes him." Kael sat very still. "You've noticed something." "I notice everything," she said. "Nobody listens." "I'm listening," Kael said. She laid it out. Officers who owed Doran favors, supply chains rerouted for no tactical reason, loyalty quietly accumulated in all the wrong places. A pattern that looked like nothing if you saw one piece, a pattern that looked like a coup if you saw all of them. Kael had lived inside that pattern for 19 years and never once seen it. He spent the next decade building in silence, Sev watching, Lyra mapping, trusted allies quietly repositioned where they needed to be, and Kael himself playing exactly the role Doran expected, a capable soldier, no political ambition, no threat. Doran found him at 24, same as before. Same smile, same handshake that felt like safety. Kael smiled back and felt nothing except clarity. He let Doran believe the trust was growing. He let Doran believe he was being recruited. He watched and waited while Doran's plan came almost all the way together, because he needed the Empire to see it, not just him. On the night Doran's forces finally moved, Kael's moved first. By 4 minutes. No bloodshed, no dramatic battle. Just evidence, testimony, officers who had been quietly given a choice and had taken it, now standing ready to confirm everything. Doran was arrested before a single blade was drawn. He stood in the hall where Kael had died in another life and looked at him with something that wasn't quite surprise. "How?" Doran said. Kael looked at him for a long moment. "You always thought I was only a soldier," he said. "You were right, but soldiers learn, and I had a long time to learn." He had fallen from the highest throne in the world once. This time he built it himself, and the only blade in the room was his.